Hey guys, welcome back to another segment of my recent empties. And this one is going to be makeup. Actually, this one isn't technically so much an empties, a lot of this is expired products as well, but nonetheless, it is products that are going in the trash. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on these, if I would repurchase them, if I wouldn't, just go ahead and keep on watching. I'm just going to go in the order that you would apply these to your face, and the first one is a primer. This is the 100% Pure Mattifying Primer. Forewarning, there's going to be a lot of 100% pure products in here because pretty much all of them have a shelf life of only 6 months, which is really short even for green beauty products. So this I didn't finish, but I guess I used a lot. I'd say there's about a third left in there. This was okay. I mean, it was pretty good depending on what I used it with. It didn't do anything with certain foundations. Some foundations it helped. This is pretty pricey for a product that's just okay and only has a shelf life of 6 months, so I will not be repurchasing. So moving on into foundation, I have the Gabriel Moisturizing Liquid Foundation. This was the very first natural foundation that I bought, and I did really like it. The shade is Natural Beige if you were curious, but this one, it blended out really smoothly. It had kind of a dewy sort of finish. Coverage is buildable up to a medium to almost full, not quite full. And the lasting power was decent, not like the best out there. It does transfer, like if you hold your phone up to your face, stuff like that. Unfortunately, it has retinol palmitate, which I didn't really know much about at the time, and that's not an ingredient I really want to use. I mean, I guess I'm fine with using this if I'm indoors majority of the day. The biggest dent I put in this was over the winter time when I wasn't outside much. But in the sun, retinol palmitate can potentially speed up the growth of skin cancer, so not really something I would want to purchase for that reason. And then I have several foundation samples that I went through, and I'll briefly go over those for you guys. The first one I'll talk about is Fitglow. Fitglow is a really nice foundation as far as the finish goes. It looks beautiful, at least on me. It looked very skin-like, natural, kind of a satin finish. Unfortunately, it just wasn't quite the coverage I wanted. It's like a medium coverage, but I tend to like something with a little bit more. And then they really didn't have a perfect shade match for me either. I tried both the VF1 and the VF2. VF1 matched me a little bit better. As far as the lightness of my skin, it was good, but it was, both of them were sort of yellow toned, and as someone with cool toned skin, it didn't really work. So as far as the formula, I think it's an amazing foundation. Just for me, I would want a little bit more coverage, and they didn't have my shade. Next, the Iredale Glow Time BB Cream. I really like this. This is, though it's a BB cream, it's very full coverage. It's kind of hard to learn how to work it into your skin. It kind of has a learning curve, I mean. For me, what I do is I spray a buffing brush with some facial mist, and then I put some on the back of my hand, and then it goes on really well. It's just really thick, and it can look kind of cakey if it's not applied right, but it's a really nice finish. It lasts a decent amount of time. It also has SPF in it, which is great. The shade BB3 is a perfect match for me, so that's one of the reasons why I actually ended up getting a full size of this one, so really like that one. Another one I really like, this one's probably my all-time favorite that I've tried so far in green beauty, that's the Kjaer Weis foundation. This one's in the shade like Porcelain, which is a really good match for me, and I did end up getting the full size of this foundation, but I went with Paper Thin, which is the next darker one up. The reason I did that was due to a sale going on, and I really wanted to take advantage of that, but at the time I had so many foundations to get through, and I figured I would go with a shade that should match me in the summertime, and I'm getting close. So this is what Paper Thin looks like, and then this is what the gorgeous full-size packaging looks like, which is amazing. So obviously a cream foundation. I apply it with the Burless MF2 brush. Yeah, MF2, it's dirty because I just used it. It does kind of take a little bit of time to work it in than, like, you know, a liquid foundation obviously, but once you do, it is so beautiful, so full coverage. I mean, it's buildable if you like a lighter coverage, but I like the full coverage, and it's a really nice, like, satin skin-like finish that I absolutely love. For me though, the best thing about this is how long wearing it is. This is the most long wearing natural foundation that I've tried so far, and then it also doesn't transfer when you hold your phone up to your cheek, so I love that. I can't stand that. It's all over my phone. So definitely a favorite of mine. So yeah, really happy I got this sample, and I probably will be repurchasing this over and over despite how expensive it is. And then the other foundation I went through a sample of is Sappho. So a lot of people really, really love Sappho foundation. For me, it just didn't work for me. First of all, very light coverage. It's like kind of more of a tinted moisturizer for me, in my opinion. And then on my skin, it just did not look good. It clung to dry patches. It sort of has a cream to powder finish, and on me it just looked chalky and it made my skin look dull. The shade Mia was a really good match for me, but just because of the performance on my skin, I would not repurchase that one, but a lot of people do like it. So next I've got a few concealers, and this first one is the very last of my mainstream conventional makeup, and that's the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is the only one of the non-natural products that I decided to use up and just didn't toss it, because it's just that amazing. I don't think anything in Green Beauty will compare to this. The coverage is just incredible, but while also being super lightweight, and it didn't crease on me. The applicator I liked so much for highlighting down the bridge of my nose and then like under the cheekbones. It was just so easy to use and so easy to blend. The ingredients actually aren't terrible compared to other conventional stuff, but they're not good enough for my preference. So I will not be repurchasing it for that reason, unless maybe it's like a really special event or something like that. Maybe I would, but yeah. So this next one I bought with the hopes that it would at least be somewhat similar to the Urban Decay. And it's the 100% pure, I don't know what this one's called exactly, but it looks like this. And this is the shade Creme. Definitely not the same. It didn't crease all that bad, I will say that, but the coverage just wasn't there. It wasn't enough coverage for what I would like under my eyes. It also just didn't really blend out as smoothly. It was a little bit streaky, which I didn't really like. So for that reason, I wouldn't repurchase this. And then the other concealer, I'm tossing both of these Christopher Drummond Duo Phase Concealers, which I was misinformed by a couple different people that these would be the exact same formula as the new Hint Beauty, and definitely not the case. If you saw my disappointing products video, this was in there, and this was horrible for me. But then when I did try the Hint Beauty one, the new one, completely different on me. These creased on me horribly, very thick, very cakey looking. Even using the tiniest amount just creased on me, and it just looked bad all around. Despite these still working for a lot of people, I would not recommend buying these. I think the only place you can get them is eBay now, and I was informed later that these are very old, so I would not buy these. But I am really glad I tried a sample of the Hint Beauty one, which, if you didn't know, Christopher Drummond rebranded Hint Beauty, if you're confused here. And I loved it so much I bought the full size, so that is a huge difference. Next up, I've got a couple mascaras. This first one is from Glam Natural, and I got this in a Laritzi subscription box. This one is brown. So this one was okay when I first used it, but I thought it was going to be really amazing once it dried up a bit, because it's got like a little bit of a gloopy, just a gloopy sort of texture that transfers a lot. But I thought it just needed some drying up after a few weeks, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. It just stayed gloopy. I mean, it does give my lashes a look I like, but I just don't like the transferring. And then once it does dry, it didn't smudge on me either, which was nice, but yeah, I wouldn't repurchase that. And then the other mascara I got is from Ilia. This one's got sort of a unique shaped wand. It's got like shorter bristles and then longer bristles. On the other side, it's plastic. And this one, I just couldn't get it to work for me. It didn't really lengthen, it didn't really volumize. Though I do know people who use this and it looks amazing on their lashes. I just think our lashes are all so different, it just depends. But I couldn't get it to work for mine. However, I love the shorter side for my bottom lashes. It's so easy. It doesn't smudge. It gives me the exact look that I want. The beauty junkie in me does want to repurchase it for that reason, but I'll hold back. I can get by with using my other mascaras that I like for the bottom. I don't need to spend the extra money and have extra clutter in my life. So I won't be repurchasing it unless there's like some amazing deal, then maybe I will, but yeah. So from here on out, it's just 100% pure things that I'm tossing. And I did touch base on this in that disappointing products video again. I don't like that 100% pure has that short shelf life of 6 months. And I know some people say, oh, brands just say that to get you to buy it more, but I'm really not convinced that's the case with 100% pure because they're so natural. They just go bad quicker, and it's not something I'm really gonna take a chance with. And even compared to other natural brands that have great ingredients, they last longer than 6 months typically. So I don't like that about that. On top of that, I don't appreciate that a lot of the stuff, the packaging, are pretty big sizes. If they have the short shelf life, I don't know why they wouldn't just put it in smaller packaging. That makes more sense to me. You could sell it for a cheaper price. People would buy it more for that reason. I don't know, that just makes more sense to me, but that's not what they do. Anyways, the products I have here, the first one is this, what is this called? The Fruit Pigmented Cheek Tint. It's like worn off. I think it's just their lip and cheek tints. This is Cranberry Glow, I know that. I didn't like this. It was fine, the color was good, it blended out decently. Unfortunately, it just doesn't last on my cheeks. It just kind of melts off, even in the winter time when my skin is not oily at all. I just didn't work for me. And then another thing with 100% pure, a lot of their packaging I don't like. Like this just to me looks like something I would find in a 13-year-old's makeup collection. Just my taste. If you like it, to each their own, that's fine. But yeah, I wouldn't repurchase this. I guess kind of sticking with the theme of 13-year-old packaging, some people really like this, that's fine. I'm not crazy about it. This is their lipstick in Calendula. I love the color. Unfortunately, I didn't like the performance of this. It was really slippery kind of formula, creamy, nice, pigmented, yes, but it just didn't last. So not something I really enjoy. And then I did end up finding a very, very close color match from Mineral Fusion, which is what I have on my lips right now. And I like that one 100 times more. That's Mineral Fusion Exotic, if you're wondering. So yeah, this one's expired and going in the trash. And then the other lip product I'm getting rid of, this is their Lip Glaze in Coquette. I will say I like the packaging of this one more. But this one, after like 2 months, it developed this really disgusting, like, crayon flavor, and I couldn't use it. I will say the formula of this was better than the lipstick. It lasted longer, and it's a nice, pretty neutral color. The color's good, but it's not like something that's super hard to find a match for. It's kind of similar to Nudist 27 Kisses, which I like 100 times more. But yeah, obviously I wouldn't repurchase this one either. And then this last one is kind of sad for me to get rid of because it's just a lot, but surprisingly enough, only 6-month shelf life. And that's the Punk Princess palette, which looks like this. Let's see, so the highlight shade, I didn't really like this. It didn't show up on my skin. Blush, pretty good color, but it was kind of patchy. This color was decent. This is like your highlight, inner quarter highlight color. And this one I like the most. This like taupey, kind of grayish, almost sort of mauve in a way, kind of. I really like this one. And the black was pretty good too. But yeah, 6 months shelf life for a palette like this just isn't realistic for me. I know people use them longer and they're comfortable with that, and that's fine, but I'm personally not. Another thing that kind of annoyed me is none of these are magnetic, so I couldn't put them in my magnetic palette, which I prefer to do because I don't like clutter. So yeah, obviously would not repurchase any of their palettes either. Alright, so that concludes all my recent makeup items I'm getting rid of or used up. Stay tuned, I will be having the skincare empties here soon, so watch out for that one. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.